All right, guys. Hello, how are you? Hello, boys and girls. This is Alejandro Castillo streaming live from Mexico City, the largest city in the world. Today is Wednesday, August the 1st, 9 p.m. here in Mexico City, 4 p.m. in Honolulu, Hawaii, sunny and hot Honolulu, Hawaii. Today, I have a great guest, a very good, a very good person, very good friend. I know him last year in Colima in Panam Cup. He was the coach of the USA Volleyball men's team in that tournament. The great Milan Zarkovic, directly from Honolulu, Hawaii. How are you, Milan? How's everything in
Aloha,
Hawaii?
aloha for you, Alejandro, and for all your spectators and supporters.
Thanks for being here, Milan. I'm very honored. You are, or this is the episode 86. I want to reach the 100th episode in August, so I hope I can get it. But I'm very grateful that you join us today. Thanks a lot, Milan.
It is my pleasure and my honor to be one of, first of all, of your friends, and the second one in to talk about volleyball that invited by you. One remarkable person, one volleyball fanatic, and one volleyball knowledge reference. And I can tell you that volleyball connection. So thank you to having me, and congratulations for the great work that you have. And I wish that you will have not only 100 episodes, that you will have more than 100 episodes.
Thanks a lot, Milan. You're the 86. I'm very honored for that. And well, thanks a lot. How's everything in Hawaii, dear Milan, about the weather and about the corona,
So we can say that those two questions are known. So weather in Hawaii is always almost the same. So that response is not needed. So it's sunny, it is nice. We had a couple, yeah, we have maybe 1 week ago, big dangerous from the hurricane, 2 weeks. So, but that was in the seconds, it was avoided. So we are safe. And from another thing that every single place in the world in this moment is suffering is about coronavirus, and that is affecting, that changed the world and affecting all the activities here in Hawaii and everywhere in the world. Yes, we are fighting with that. I can say that authorities here in Hawaii, they are trying to keep the people safe, and that people are pretty responsible and follow those instructions that can keep us less infected. Unfortunately, in last month or in last several weeks, we have increased number of the cases here in Hawaii. Now is daily around 100, and I can say that that will be the challenge for everyone here. So to reduce, having in mind that University of Hawaii will be, another universities here will be very soon open, and we will have another kids to come, and not only the athletes but all the students. So it's challenging time, challenging, yes.
Yes, I was reading an article of NCAA in the morning, and they are saying that well, it's almost clear that fall sports will not be played, right?
I can say that for this moment, most probably that those that we are connected with, volleyball, women's volleyball will not be played. So there are a bunch of other sports, and to be honest, I don't know exactly. We are waiting for the updates for the basketball and football, American football. They can practice in I mean, in some way, but is not the full practice. And so, yes, requests a lot of thinking, a lot of a lot of attention about all of this, because it's it's challenging time how to keep everyone safe and healthy.
Yes, I know that, and I think one of the most difficult issues is about the eligibility, right? And that impacts the scholarships.
That is another thing that, of course, yes. So we have for the last season, we had uh, we will have another 1 year our seniors here in men's volleyball, and that requests another additional fundraising, and so because to keep all that on the level that can be financial alive, that can be affordable, and so that will request another engagements from the from everyone, and more difficulty, and for university, and especially for the people that they support those sports where the seniors are coming back. So I can say that in this moment, that yeah, we have in University of Hawaii, we have pretty good group of the seniors that they are coming back, and they will continue, and some of them from the national team, because they participate with me, and yes, we are very glad to have them back. But I am saying that, uh, hoping that COVID-19 will be under control, and that we will play the spring season, because for the moment we can practice.
Yes, I know that. I can imagine. And well, also that 3 or 4 weeks ago, Stanford that said that their men's volleyball program will be shut down in the short term. It's a terrible news for volleyball world.
That is, I can say, volleyball will be not so rich as with the Stanford, because Stanford was one great, I can say, one great name, and it's still one great name for the volleyball, to keep the clever kids that they are going to the Stanford, and to provide for some clever volleyball players that to finish there. But the truth is that those volleyball players that they were to Stanford, and they finished Stanford University, they're most of them, they're playing still volleyball, or they're continue playing volleyball. They're not exercising Stanford specialty that they are studying for that. So from that standpoint, I can say that, yeah, probably we will have some other schools that they will reach, because the men's volleyball in USA is one of the uh, greatest, rising the sports in this moment, the biggest rising sport in this moment. And we have several universities that they are establishing the men's program. So it will be the opportunity for other kids to find their way in volleyball, and in their academic achievements.
Yes, well, I hope so. I really desire that. Not a lot of programs can come to shut down. But well, we have to wait. All we can do is to wait, right?
Yes, and fight for the moment, for the post that we can to fight, and that fight, because I know that we spoke about philosophy, and and I can mention in this moment that, especially in communication with the kids, since that you were asking me about that, how we communicate with the players, because Hawaii is a special place, and we have players from all around the world. Some of them, they stay during the summer, as Parapunov, he didn't go to Bulgaria, but most of them, they went to their countries, and how we communicate. And these days we request, Charlie Wade has great ideas, and he put a task for the players to give their opinion about the current situation, about their future, and their point in the current moment of the developing of world and volleyball. And I can tell you that that is also one great way to develop the volleyball, and to develop their brain, because and to develop their approaching to the problems, and to the cases that they will face today and tomorrow in their life.
Yes, well, thanks for your response, dear Milan. So, well, I wanna talk as usual about your beginnings. I'm very impressed, because almost I can say 70-75% of the guests, volleyball wasn't their first choice when they started to practice some sport. It's pretty amazing. I don't know if it's your case.
But to be honest, I am from the one small village in Serbia. It's called Žiča, and that small village is pretty. interesting for the world, for the Orthodox Christians and for Christianity, of course, with full respect through the all decisions and all the, all religions. And so we had in that small village built the church in the beginning of the 13th century. So, and that is Žiča with the 7 doors. And we had 7 kings that were crowned there. And that is the 7 doors that we have on the exit, because every king were building their own exit. So close to the Žiča is the Kraljevo city of the around 70,000 people. And the main sport was basketball. Football, soccer is the main sport anywhere and everywhere. So, but I can say that we were so lucky that football, soccer was not so popular in our area, but not so good with the good results. Had some bright moments, but not big. But still, every village has the football team, soccer team. So that is our life. And then we had the basketball, and basketball is very recognizable there. And we had the Divac, Vlade Divac, that was playing for Sacramento. He is from my town. He was starting playing there. He's from another town, but he established himself in that town and his name. And a lot of other players, as previously Simonovic and after Todoric. And we have a lot of players that they play basketball there. In all this fighting for the kids, men's volleyball, with one pioneer in men's volleyball in Serbia, Dusan Bošković. He, in 1964, he built the Ribnica Kraljevo, and that team was playing in the first division. And for the sports, for the small kids from the around villages, that was pretty big challenge to be part, because that time the volleyball was in the first division of big Yugoslavia. And I can say that we had a great results. We took the Cup of Yugoslavia 1978 and 1979, and I can tell you that that was the trigger that made me to play volleyball and in my own village, and then was recruited to play because for the Ribnica Kraljevo. And after that, having my dream to go to Belgrade to study, I had people from Belgrade, from Partizan Belgrade, even if that time I was Red Star, but by the time I wanted to go to Partizan, because they were in the first division, and I finished in Partizan. And I finished in Partizan, so starting from the beginning, be candidate there for the national team, and Lazar Grozdanovic was head coach of the Partizan Belgrade. And in one point, our dream of the old generation of that generation of 60s, 70s was to finish the study and after the study, to play volleyball. And after that one, to go somewhere to play and probably to find some job after in your country, because it was very serious country that we had. So after, I'm not saying we are not serious now, but that was really pretty big country, with 20 million people. And and I did that. I finished university. I went to Belgrade, Partizan Belgrade. I had an apartment that was paid by the club, and some salary that was pretty good salary. And my father was blacksmith, my mom housewife with just painting and just artist. And so we survived. I was the only kid, and we survived. And I can say that I become from the one small village. I will have that dream to become the captain and of the Partizan and of the team that was one of the leaders of the volleyball in Belgrade. I had opportunity to go to Red Star. Now president of the federation of the European Federation was the president of the Red Star, Aleksandar Boricic, and he invited me several times. So in that moment, I wanted to finish my study and then turn to be electrical engineer and to do that, but and I didn't go to Red Star. But in the end, when I turned myself to the volleyball and he invited me to be head coach of national team, I said to him that this time I have to follow his invitation and to help Serbian volleyball to raise the kids for the all levels.
Wow, that's an amazing story, Milan. Thanks for sharing. I read that in the resume, but it's better to hear from you, especially. You always played just in the former Yugoslavia.
Actually, I played until 1988 when I finished university, and after that I was working in the one prestige institute for the electrical research institute, and as the young research officer, young research uh, man and prospective boy working on the one power supplying for the some aeroplanes, and that project was for the Russians. So it was illusion. That was not a war project. That was not not army project. That was just project for the some aeroplanes, and that they are flying in the bad weather. And then in that point, it was the crucial, because I got the offer to go to play in Cyprus and to be the coach. I started the coaching work, and then my mentor at the institute, Mikhailo Pupin, they said to me, look, you can go to have some time to go there, and then you can decide how you come back or you will stay there, and then you will always have the job to come here back. And I didn't go that time to as a representative of the institute to the Moscow to present our work. I went to Cyprus to be coach of the one. I am very brave, proud that I was coach of an Orthosis volleyball team in Cyprus. An Orthosis, that means phoenix, and that is that bird uh, that is getting her life from the dust and from the ashes. And I took the cup with that team, being there 2 years. Then went to my daughter was born there, Stefana, and in Limassol, Cyprus. And then I can say that that was very nice to be with that people and have the people around me that they were supporting me, because I can say I was new professional coach and player, in the double role. And then I went to Paralimni where my son was born, Sinisha. He was playing here in Hawaii after so many years. So, and I stayed in Cyprus a lot of years until the time that I went to Paphos after. And then I came back to Serbia and be coach on Partizan, working as a CEO in two companies. They were the same name, but totally two different companies. And then reestablish my connection with the national team and become a head coach of the junior national team. I'm joking. I was coach of 3 countries of the junior national team of the Yugoslavia at that time, and that with that name we went to the World Championship in Bahrain. In the Iran that time, Tehran, and then I was head coach of Serbia and Montenegro. In India, when I met that time the head coach of and my common friend now, my big friend John Sparrow, I met him there in Durban. And then I was head coach of the Serbia, when we become independent country, and in Brazil, 2010, 2011, when we become the third in the world. And yes.
Oh. Hey, Milan, please tell me something. What was the impact of the gold medal for Yugoslavia in Sydney 2000? I can that there has been a very good team since mid 90s, but they reached the gold medal in 2000 in a very difficult political situation in that country. How was the impact of that gold medal for the country?
we can say that that was not only that year. It started in Atlanta, 1996, when we became the third. But my cousin and my brother Dejan Brđević couldn't play the finals of that Olympic Games because he had some family tragedy, and then he came back. But probably in that time we will be also very competitive. Okay, we took the bronze medal in Atlanta. So, and if we go several years back, we can say with the big effort of our federation and under embargo and all these civil wars that happening and the bombing that happening, yeah, we survive. And we can give big credit for the people that they were leading volleyball that time. Zoran Gajic as a volleyball coach, and all other people, including Aleksandar Boricic and Nenad Golian and Slobodan Milošević and all other their cooperators that they are helping Serbian, Yugoslavian volleyball to be the part of the world where our country was not part of the world by embargo and all these difficulties. And impact of the 2000 gold medal, it's great. It's great visual because we have today still, that sequence when Vladimir Grbić is running to nowhere. And I mentioned that in both of my books, because how he was great and make something special, what will be remembered for all the time. And gold medal is always remembered for all the time. We can say that, yes, we have coaches with Zoran Gajic. We had Bogdan Sretenović that time. We had Jovica Cvetković, Dragan Mihajlović. And we can say that all of them, and supporting from the coaches that they were helping in the preparation, yes, they helped the players to show their best, and players were extraordinary and exceptional. And they are really good, and we are so proud to have those players that they played for our country, and that they are still doing a lot of things for our Serbian volleyball.
Yes,
And
and
world volleyball.
you had the opportunity at that time in the 90s, late 90s, to not play, but because you retired before the 2000, but to train guys like the Gerbic brothers or Ivan Milkovic, Slobodan Boškan.
To say the truth, that generation was very close to me. I can say, they are not so big difference. So I never trained them. Ivan Mikovic was coming for the couple of practices with Partizan Belgrade after, when he played in Italy. But I can say that generation that come after them, and they make also remarkable results with the European and World League winners. I can say European Championship, and World medals. I practice all of them. So, and those players are still playing, most of them. And I can say that that is the big honor to have that kind of players in and not only from that country. I have players. So somebody asked me, how many players you have in the Olympic team? So I had in London, most of them in Serbia, and some of them in Tunisia, because I was working in Tunisia, and some of them were competing for Tunisia. And, and in this moment, I can say that, example, the player that they are playing in Russia national, Yegor Klyuka, while I was head coach of the Belarusian national team, I invite him, and that in this Wikipedia or wherever.
Igor Klyuka is a great player for Russia.
Yes, he is. And, okay, he would be, even if I wasn't there, he would be a great player. But it is nice. I am not using those feathers to put in my diadema here, because I have a lot of other players that I can mention their names. And I have a lot of players that it will be the mention as a good world player and world quality.
You told me before we go live that in the junior team, you had the opportunity to train Alexander Podraskanin.
Uh, his name is Marko
Ah,
Podraščanin
Marco,
and
sorry,
Alexander Atanasievich,
Atanasievich.
and yes, and very difficult job to practice Uroš Kovačević.
Oh,
You
Uros
know,
Kovacevic, great, the
yeah, very
lefty guy.
difficult job to practice him because first of all you must win him one-on-one, and then he will do whatever you do with other players. Otherwise, Lisinats and a bunch of other players. So that they're all of them, that they're most of them 90% that they're playing in this national team of Serbia right now. Maybe just a couple of them no. Nikola Jovic as a setter, and and all setters that they are passing that they were in national team, and Alexander Atanasievich as a bright person, and before that Veljko Petković was in national team, Kovačević, another Nikola was in the with me in junior national team, and really Dragan Stanković was first time invited when he was junior to play, and and Bielica in some time, and I can say yes, there is no the player that played for the national team in one point that he didn't play for junior national team. And some of them are saying that the MVP Marko Ivovic, he didn't participate, yeah, but he's 90. He was with the generation to play with 1989, but he was younger. I invite him for the camp, and in that point I friend with his father and his uncle, and I gave them my driving because they, in one article, they said, oh, he never participated in junior national team. So I can say that we had great focus for all of them because it's not the big, it is not the big country, and it wasn't so difficult to remark them so that they will be the candidate for national team.
And Milan, what do you think is one of more what can I say? Uh, Serbia is a great volleyball school in the world. They have great teams consistently. What do you think are the keys for the success of the Serbian national program in both right now, in men's and women?
So the volleyball started to become really popular, and then we had more kids to choose them to come for volleyball. So the selection was more likable. The other thing, there are some secrets that we keep consistency. Women's volleyball coach, head coach Alexander, so Zoran Terzic was chosen by Alexander Borisic and his cooperatives. And so, and he's from 2002 to 2003 until today. So we have continuity, and we have continuity with the working with the small categories. And we can say we are not changing so easily. And so then, teaching the kids that since that we cannot make one generation that it become the youth championship of the world, we succeed that, but it was generation, special generation. But we can take from every or junior championship. We were third with me, and so I make selection also in that time for those youths because we were using the youths in the older groups and trying to have from every generation, trying to have several couple of them that they will lead the next, even if they are not on the highest level, but then they have more experience so that to become winners and to winning some game in that age. Because when you teach the winners, then you will become a winner, and they are not learning to lose so much. And if they lose, so you teach them how to enjoy the wins, because that will be the twice happiness. When you know how you feel when you lose, then you are twice happy when you win. And another one thing, of course, the reason I cannot give the simple response for that, but just touch some response. Social situation in Serbia, in the countries of as Serbia and Eastern Europe or Southern East Europe, or I can say that is not the greatest, and then the kids are really seeing some ways how to make them famous, and how to become volleyball to be their way of living, and the way that they provide for their families. And for the moment, we can see that just some of them are taking the highest salaries, but we have a bunch of the players that they participate not in the highest the divisions, but they participate in volleyball in all other countries and in Serbia, and they provide some living for them. And the way of success is also, yes, we were 5 centuries under the Turks. We survive, and our religion survive in that environment. And I can say that we we know how to survive, and how to take care about each other, especially in these collective sports. When I can say easily that we are specialists, because you can say that most of these former Yugoslav republics and now states, that they participating with their teams on the high. Last European competition, volleyball competition, was final in basketball Serbia Slovenia, and in volleyball Serbia Slovenia. And both they have 8 or 9 millions. So it is less than 1/4 of the Mexico City.
Well, here in Mexico City, you are almost 25 million people. In the
So
in
that
the
is what I say.
country, is almost 130 million. And well, you're talking about that. I remember when Montenegro came to Mexico to play a World League Group Three. In that event, I met the great Slobodan Boškan, great guy. You know him very well.
Yes.
And it was amazing because the, I think they were a great team, but the altitude of Mexico City impacts every team here. But how many inhabitants are in Montenegro? 2 million, less.
Yeah, there are less after the tone leave the message. About talking about Montenegro, because yes, Montenegro, they were much bigger when they were with Serbia, but now they are not so big, and it's good that they succeed to come for the Olympic qualifications there, you know. And Slobodan Boškan is not Montenegro. He's the same Montenegro. I mean, uh, depends.
No, I mean, but
No,
he
we thought
came.
that is the same, but we realized in the last that is not the same,
He
because there are
came.
some differences.
Boschkan came here as the coach of a Montenegrin team, and
Yes,
what I mean is that Montenegro is a very small country, but they play very well. We are they fought very hard with Mexico, and we are 130 million people. That's what I mean.
yes, that's true. That's true. They have some heritage of the Serbian Yugoslavian school of volleyball, and so of course they were big part of that, because we had in in our national team we had the boys from Montenegro, of course.
Well, right now it's very unfortunate that Serbia didn't make the Olympics, the men's team. Because the qualification process in Europe is very hard.
So when about that joke, when somebody is two friends are talking on the phone, and then he didn't want to respond or something, and he said after the tone leave the message. So that is something what is hurting us so much. And we had in the previous yes, I don't want to draw or show the point my finger in anyone, but I can say that in that point, not to go to Olympics, it's hurt any country. We need every single moment and every single opportunity that can make volleyball famous. So if our national team is going to be famous on the in on I mean going to participate Olympic Games, it become famous, of course, and that will bring other small kids to to practice volleyball, and that will be the bite for them to come. So to not participate in the Rio de Janeiro and to not participate for the next Olympic Games, that is hurt big damage to Serbian volleyball, and not only for Serbian, because when you bring Serbian school to play volleyball, then it's another one cube in the mosaic of the volleyball that it will make the next Olympic champion or Olympic medalist or everyone who wants to win. It will bring him another one task to pass if you want to win in another one country. By other way, we gave opportunity to some other country to participate.
Yes, for example, in Rio, Mexico went to the Olympics after 48 years.
Yes, and congratulations for Mexico, because that was pretty nice for Mexico, and I think that you feel now the difference before and now. That is what is impact of the Olympics can make for Mexico, because I know that after that you were organizing a bunch of the national team events in Mexico, in Colima, not only Colima, in Tijuana, and that was the Latin American volleyball games and Latin American federation qualifications, and you can see that your junior national team, it was also competitive, and I think that will reflect on the quality of Mexico national team.
Yeah, for this year we had scheduled both Pan Am Cups, men and women, in Mexico. They are canceled, of course, but
Yes,
yeah, it's
and as we are very glad. Okay, Mexico had Aosta, that was president of the FIVB, of course, but still you have one representative, great representative of Norseca and the Latin American volleyball. You know, Juan Martin Hofiz is Cristobal, is one of the huge men in the world volleyball, and he is really doing everything to rise that part of the world with the greatest volleyball and great volleyball and the good events that he is organizing, helping organizing all the countries in South America.
yes, I know that. Milan, thanks a lot. So, well, as you were telling us, you were coach in Cyprus, in Serbia, in Tunisia, returned to Partizan in Serbia. Then you were in Dubai, right, in the United Arab Emirates,
Yes,
and
before that I was in Belarus.
Belarus. Yeah.
Yes, I was in Belarus. I was for yes, it was one season head coach there. We found some difficulty. It was very difficult for the changing of generation, and for those generation that they, that was the sum of the mentality that they have to change, and they change. But after that, so they succeed to go to the European Games, European Championship after so many years. And we will see how this will reflect in the future. But yes, after Belarus, Russia, I was not in Dubai, in Al Ain. In
Yeah.
Al Ain, yes, volleyball club with a good tradition, staying there several months. And, then I got an offer in the team where my son was playing in America, because, I never planned that I will come to America. Not because of somebody was asking, and we don't want to talk about the politics and about everything what's happening with the NATO bombing and everything that, but to come in that time, to think to come to America, it was, little, I can say, a little hard decision. But my son Siki, who was one of the leaders in the program, and that program starts rising up with his coming here in Hawaii, he decided to come to America, and he applied for the university, and he came the first year, and probably that his okay, my resume, and he is behaving and showing everything that he could do here. make Charlie Wade to offer me the job. And I came to coach in America. That was 2013.
So it was almost by accident, you can say.
Uh, you know, never. My opinion is that nothing in the life is happening with accident and not with a purpose.
Right.
So yes, this was the purpose. That yes, I had a mission to come. I found a lot of identities, or if you want to say, because yes, I chose to come. I choose my boss, but my boss Charlie Wade, he chose me, and he chose me to work with me. And you know, because in that point, to have someone in the 50s to come to be your assistant, since that I was all my life head coach. And I remember several days ago, I remember when he was asking me with the interview, because that is the, I'm working for government, is government university. He was, and that is procedure that he has to do. And in the job that we are doing, and Charlie Wade and Josh Walker, and you know, we leaded by David Matlin, we can say that we have to follow all the orders. And not only because government job and government business demands you of that, but that is how persons we are. And then he was asking me what is the reason that I want to go, and I said that I want to help to the volleyball, and that help to the mission of volleyball, and help that that maybe opinion of my son when he said to me that characterizing the volleyball players in America and the young players in America, he said to me, Dad, you will be so happy how they listen and how they are workable. And I follow that and followed my base that I was personally invited by Charlie Wade, and I have obligation that to help players to be the best that they can, and to help Charlie Wade, the team to be successful, and to help to Charlie Wade and Joshua Walker, who is also now ex-player but now coach, to be successful. That is my mission, and that is how I finish in Hawaii.
Great, great, great place to work, right? In Hawaii, University of Hawaii, great program. You were runner-up the last year, right, or 2 years ago?
I can say that I came 2013. My son finished 2016, and you know, my first contact with the live contact with the Hawaiian volleyball was just after my arriving on the airport. Coach Charlie Wade came to pick me up from the airport, and he directly drove me to the gym, and it was women's game. And in that time, women's volleyball, you know, it was huge, and it's still huge. The you know, huge matter and huge, I mean, interest here in Hawaii, and much bigger than men's volleyball in that time. So I went and I saw all different faces, you know, the colors, different color, different people, different shape, different eyes. So, but you can read in everyone happiness about volleyball and happiness that they can support the team. And so then when my son finished and I was still there, and we make some remarkable presence of the Hawaii men's volleyball in the NCAA championship, a lot of people were asking me, am I staying? And my response today is not, you know, that I am staying here because I can be easy coach anywhere else. But this is making me to feel nice, the people that they appreciate, the people that I live with them. I was living, you know, I will tell you one story about that story connected with how the people are the same everywhere. You know, there are different, I mean, there are the same vibe of the goodness. So I came and directly in the Stan Sheriff Center 2013 on the 3rd November, I met the people, TC and Jay Gray, that they will host me for the 2 weeks. So I stay in their home for 2 weeks. And Alejandro, those people, kept me there for almost 3 years.
Wow.
And and that was huge. Then my son was going there, and okay, we have to pay for him. But I stay there without charging myself because of NCAA rules, because I had to pay, and we have to prepare all paperwork, signatures, witnesses. So that was very nice. I mean, that was something to follow the rule. So and I can tell you that that is how I feel. And how long I will stay here? I will stay here until I have that feeling in my heart, in my soul. Do I have a doubts? And those doubts I very often exchange with Charlie Wade, and those doubts, of course, because even with your wife, when you are leaving, you have some differences, but that is the common life. So we still really have nothing changed from that standpoint. It's just changed that we both change, including with the teaching and involving the young, the coach of the Joshua Walker. We are going to become a better and to make volleyball better, and our results and the number of the national team players in the USA volleyball and in other countries, because we have now players that they play in their countries for national team, as Jacob Thiele in Norway, as Filip Humler in Czech Republic, and Radoslav Parapunov here, and Brooks Sidor participating in his country, and our players, bunch of them that are playing for the national team, they are candidates for the national team. Worsleys, Gage and Joe, or Patrick Gastman, or Taylor, or Colton Cowell, or if I forgot someone, I am really so. Capono Fay, the one huge, to Larry Toiletta, and I think they're all of them connected with those players that they play volleyball here, because volleyball in Hawaii didn't start with me, and didn't start with the Strogis or with Micah Christensen or with Brad Lawson, or no, the volleyball starts much before, with the people that they're still playing, 3-year-old, those that they're not with us anymore. So yes, I brought something in here, and they respect that, and I am very proud that USA Volleyball respect that, and that was the one reason why I was invited last year to be part of the USA Volleyball camps and practices.
Great, great. Let's go back just a little to University of Hawaii. I know that in the recent years they have become a huge program with players like you mentioned, a lot of them, and you were how many Final Fours did University of Hawaii played in the recent years?
Look, we play last year we cannot count on that, but in last two years we play both, and before that we had several appearances in the consecutive appearances and almost every year except the 2013 in the postseason. So we are pretty good in that, So yes, I can say that we play, but the Alejandro, I don't want to separate that. So there is another one thing that we have to mention here. That is the reason why my son came here to study, because in playing volleyball, he wanted to be the complete person with his degree. And, our guys and our players, and I can say our athletics, member of athletics at University of Hawaii, but especially volleyball, we receive almost every year academic awards. And as are we proud for these volleyball results, we are proud for academics, because we have great students, and those great students are, they are much easy to practice, because they pretty good understand what to do and very fast understand what to do. So, and they're pulling other guys, and and the best thing is that when player can practice himself and player run the practice for the team and especially in the time of the open gyms.
Yeah, that's great, and I do agree with you 100%. That the most important thing for athletes, students, is to get the degree to be good in the academics.
And to be prepared to be valuable people, valuable men, fathers, brothers, and sons. And we are also established one culture that is, and now especially it's very connected with the Hawaiian. It's with Hawaiian culture. Before it was Vastic, but now you can recognize on our T-shirts on the back Alakai, and you know what? It's acronyms of the Akea, of Lokahi or Kuleana, or you know what means energy, Kaika, what is strength, and a bunch of the things that they are implementing Hawaiian culture and then in the world heritage, and then it's helping the people, that it's helping the boys to understand, to not be only individual, to be individual in the group in the society, in the community, and those are the things that we are teaching them.
Great, great. Really congratulate you, and all the program, all the athletics program in Hawaii.
In behalf of athletic program, thank you so much.
Hey, please, I read in your resume that you are fluent in 6 languages. Is that right?
Well, yes, I speak. I speak. Do you want me to mention what languages I can speak?
Yes, of course, please.
Or you want to na sinehizum helenica? Or nous allons continuer en français. Yes, I can speak. I can speak. I hope that I can speak English. I never went every single day in school to talk English, but that is English. I speak Russian. I speak
Russian.
Greek. Yes, I can speak Russian very good, and I can speak Greek, and yes, I can speak French, and I can speak Bulgarian, but we don't, because we are so close, and we don't count that. My son was joking with me. He said, Bulgarian, that is almost Serbian. But then when Bulgarians talking to him in Bulgarian, he starts speaking English. So, and then the sixth is our language, Serbian. I have knowledge of Italian, but I don't speak Italian.
And Espanol, Spanish? No.
No, but since that I am talented, I will dedicate several afternoons, no, I know that Spanish, I don't speak Spanish, but that maybe next one of the languages that I will learn will be Spanish.
That's
I
great.
have some words.
Well, which language is more difficult to learn, Greek or Russian? I think both are very, very difficult.
So Russian I learned in school. Actually, I didn't have a choice because that was, the only language that in that time that was offered to me. But and yes, it's pretty similar base for the Slavic language. Greek is different, But then when you learn Greek and you have knowledge of some Latin language, then really it's very simple to go through next language.
And I think that the most difficult thing is you have to write different in both, in Russian, in Greek, not to say Chinese or Japanese.
Yes.
It's not only speaking, but it's also writing.
Russian is Cyrillic, and and I yes, I can speak. I can write Russian. I can write Greek also. Some mistakes. And I will tell you one joke, because when I left Cyprus and my kids were there still, and I came back to see and to talk to them, and I said, okay, how my Greek it is, and they said to me, oh, Dad, your Greek is great, but there are some words that only you can understand. So I make some words that people around me that even today on the practices. Example, Charlie Wade, my boss, he used to say, cevapcici, that means sausages on Serbian, and I mix some Serbian as a taco or as let's go all day, ceo dan, so that the kids understood dobro, what means good, that kids recognize those words. And I will mention something, since that we are talking about languages. Knowing languages and to be foreigner to work with a different language, it's making also the players that is their own mother language to understand better and to pay attention about the details, because in the end, if you have hard accent as I have, and you have some specific way of expression, then they have to realize, oh, what he wants to say to us. So, and they give more attention to understand, and that's giving better results.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think, for example, for Raul Lozano, his last experience in the national team was in China, and he told me that he needs every time a translator. I think it's very difficult because, well, he can speak in a lot of languages, but not Chinese, and I think maybe too difficult to communicate with your players in an Olympic qualification tournament in another language.
Uh, Definitely, that is something. That is really something that can be barrier. Because you can say, okay, we will tell, but some people and some nations are definitely not not talented for the languages, and then they are not turned to know the language, even in the certain word. Yes, okay, you need the language, but because the people are talking English, Spanish in some part, you know uh, Russian, so many people are talking, but yes, knowing language is helping you to understand each other better.
Yes, of course. Milan, have you ever tried, played, or coached beach volleyball, or just
Oh,
indoor?
oh, you touch my, yeah, you touch my. So I was hoping that the beach volleyball will bring one benefit, because one player from Cyprus had a son now, and that player, I played with him, and we won several beach volleyball competitions in Cyprus, because I played until 38 years old. Okay, the Cyprus
Beach.
league beach volleyball and volleyball, indoor volleyball. So I play outside volleyball until 42, because when I on my way come back, when I back in Serbia, then I still play volleyball, and I still play beach volleyball, and I play official competitions there. I was not the best, but my team was the second in Serbia, and now coach that is coach of the national team, Slobodan Kovac, was also participating. Okay, he's younger, 5, 6 years, but we played. So yes, I had several uh, players that I practice here in Hawaii, that they're professional players and that they play beach volleyball. And yes, I have big experience with beach volleyball, and yeah, as a playing and as a coach.
Okay. Um, Milan, how big is volleyball in Hawaii? Is bigger than surfing or not?
I have bad experience with surfing, because the board, obviously I was not talented, as I mentioned before. Some nations are not talented for languages. So, the board was kicking me, and that was the time when I finished my surfing here. So, yeah, surfing is, the tendencies in the world are that not only the focus volleyball players, volleyball, I mean sports, that focus professionals. It's not focused on professionals, or that it's focused on the quantity, so that we give sports for everybody. And my best man, Željko Talaskovic, is the president of the school sports of the Europe. And he was saying to me always, and he was saying to me, Jare, the future is with this quantity of the people that we involve them, and then of course we can make a choice or choosing those that they will play on the highest level. And so surfing, it's yes, here for it's very easy to you buy the board and you go, and if you want to play volleyball, okay, there are a little more requirements for the volleyball, but if you want to be known in volleyball, you have to put really really big effort, and it is not individually, it is and you and the team, and you depend a lot of. In surfing is individual sports, even if even when when I was on the NCAA, when it was in Stanford, we had that Firbinger. He was mentioning one story for the players, for the group of the all volleyball, and he was mentioning surfing and one surfer and his thinking. And you have now Doug Bill also, that he is the president of the Surfing Federation of USA. So that
Yes.
is the connection. I will not say what is the more important, but I will say yes, the sports is sports, and we are all together.
Perfect answer, Milan. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Um, uh, which in your career, well, since you were player, then coach, now coaching an university, which player or players did impacted you in the past? I mean, did influence you a lot more for be in a volleyball career?
Karch Kirali is the one that is unbeatable, unrepeatable. We had before him Reisman from the Brazil,
Bernardo
and
Reisman,
yes, Bernard
Alexander
Reisman.
Savin.
Yeah, Russian Molly Bogasavin, Kondra, Zaitsev, bunch of the players from Russia. So to mention now, that I think that no one of them will be angry when you mention Karch,
Nobody.
because nobody of them will be. But when you mention maybe some, that we will become, maybe because maybe we can. But yes, he is the one. He is the greatest. And I think that my cousin, my cousin Deja Berjovic, he was on the way to be, but he, he yes, okay, he wasn't in that time. Now he passed after. But and I can say that even Mikovic is also, can say that those bunch young players, that they have to, there are really a lot of very close, great, and in that they currently play, and they're, but to achieve that, what Kach Kirali achieved, that will be the big task. And not only that, that Kach Kirali with the high school coaching experience to become head coach of the American national women's team, and to make those results that he is making. Somebody can say, oh, everybody will make this. Yeah, but it could be, but the America become great again. No, I'm not going to the politics, but great again in the women's volleyball with Karch Kirali. And Karch Kirali is one of the coaches that probably will leave the persons that it will leave in coaching staff also some benefits for the generation that they're coming.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I have to confess that I fell in love with volleyball watching the USA volleyball team in '84, winning the gold medal with
Eighty-
Karskirai. Yeah, I fall in love with the game totally.
Yeah, that is something remarkable, and yes, yeah, I think any word is not enough words to say about that. So just we are saying in my country, hat down.
Yeah,
Yes, hat down and respect,
yeah,
not plastic, just respect.
and I can say I think you can agree that Roger Federer is the Karskirai of tennis, and Michael Jordan is the Karskirai of volleyball because Karch he says
Let's Alejandro, let's go back. Let's go back. Roger Federer, of course, is I mean, yes, remarkable person in this, of course, but he's still playing, and we have another player, and we are really touched in that. And since that the tournaments and the criteriums that not me, that tennis specialists are saying that, Kachkirali was the greatest in the era that there are a lot of players around him, and he was something remarkable. And he was remarkable by himself, and it was great competition. But in tennis, the Roger Federer he is great, but until the Nadal and Djokovic grow up to start to taking this, he took a lot of competitions, and now he's still great, and he is the wonderful player and remarkable. But I think in tennis we will leave that time show. But for basketball, Michael Jordan, of course, is something. As Bob Beamon was in the long jumping and running, and Carl Lewis was, and and Edwin Moses, who has 82, 83 wins, and my country is the country that Bubka in the, so
Sergei
there are a lot
Bubka.
of people. Yeah. So we are sports country, Serbia, sports nation. So, and very often speaking with my especially after the very bad happenings with Mr. Lloyd, and with that episode with the racism and this, we loved all this, non-dependent of the color, non-dependent of anything, and that is how we grow. And then I realized in the articles that slaveism was forbidden in Serbia in the beginning of the 19th century. So it was announced that whoever is slave and coming on the Serbia, stepping on the Serbia, he's like that, he is not anymore slave. So I am very proud, because that is something that is in our blood, and something that really should be anywhere and everywhere. And actually we shouldn't have spend time to explain, to talk about that, but unfortunately our reality is a little different, and we have to fight with that.
Yes, well, I totally agree with you about Karch. I think we can spend all the night talking about Karch, about how great he is, winning medals in indoor, in beach, right now as a coach. He's great, and he was in the show. I interviewed him, I think, 2 months and a half ago. Great
I
interview,
remember.
great talk with Karch and with a lot of people. Raul Lozano was great, Hugo Conte was great, you were great, Sinjin Smith and Randy Stokos were great, and
Yes.
this has been a very, very grateful journey for me for this Volley Talks show. But well, that's another part of the story.
Yes.
Um, um, Milan, if it depends on you, which rule will you change in volleyball? Not in collegiate volleyball in USA, but in world volleyball.
What rule I would change? We had that question from the referees committee, that those coaches that they were, coaching young guys, and the remarkable guys. So what to do to make volleyball better? So look, to be honest, I didn't think about what rule will be changed in the volleyball for that, but I have a lot of ideas how volleyball can be changed. But in this moment, I would not go through that direction. I would rather make the thinking how to prepare players to play by the official rules. And the volleyball is giving a lot of solutions, because we have mixed volleyball, we have 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 2-on-2. You will laugh now, but maybe to make some short court tournaments, so that we can see who is the specialist for that. But because that is still volleyball, giving opportunities. But that is just thinking how to make real volleyball better. So my answer of this, it is, of your question is, just adjust through the rules and make your coaching to adjust so that you prepare the players to play by those rules by the best way. Yes, the volleyball is changing. You know, then we have libero, we have this rally system of counting points, and you know, it's probably it was the experiment to play for the time, and you know, that is something that that people that they really spend full time for that that they can bring to us to try.
All right, thanks for your response, Milan. And well, we talk about players, and I want to talk right now about coaches. Which coach or whose coach or coaches have influenced you in your career?
First one is Bošković Dusan. He was the one. Bošković Dusan. He is not known for so many here, but he is the one who was founder of the volleyball in the area from where I am, and he was one who was producing the most coaches that you know that in that town, and in that town of you know, whoever walks and whoever was involved in the sports, and you know, he can talk about him, somebody that he was practicing them. So on that level, it is he is the one of the top. From another standpoint, what coach I appreciate, the best coach from the time that South Slavs and that the world was established, it is of course he is current coach of the Serbia national team women's, and he is the one that really will leave the history in volleyball. Zoran Terzic, he is the one. And then look, I don't want really mention any one Brazilian so that other Brazilian, because you know, but I will mention one that I appreciate, that he built all this through the national team, Marcos Lerbach. I will mention from Russia, the one who is, there is no player that he didn't practice him, that is Sergei Shlyapnikov. I can say that after the 70s, the success of the Polish national team, then Grzegorz Żysz was the world champion in Iran with those that they become world champions after. And, you know, in America, of course, Marv Dunphy, Doug Bill, they gave their things, but as I mentioned before, Kat Kiril is someone who is, you know, who can leave something for the future. But John Sparrow is showing that he will have a big presentation, and that I think that finally some gold square, gold medal mentality will also be established with his results, even with the results that that he has. And yes, those are the coaches, Argentinian coaches. Yes, yes. I
Julio Velasco, Raúl Lozano.
Dobro, Julio Velasco, he was, you know, and all of those that they are coming to Europe, of course, without any doubt. No, but yes, I can say that very talented nation for volleyball, Argentina, you know, with not a lot of huge results, but they are always somewhere there, breathing in the back. You know. And Italian, you know, Italian, you cannot not to mention, and the France, with really all of them that, you know, that they are making volleyball something special. You know, France with their defenses, and Italia with their organizing, because they're spending a lot of money for the best league in the world, and they're bringing all the players. So players making better coaches, and coaches are learning from them, and you know, and they brought those Argentinians, those some Brazilians to practice them. So yeah, I can say that that volleyball is volleyball everywhere, and it's volleyball, and you know, not women's, not men's, it's volleyball. So yeah, That is philosophy.
Thanks a lot for sharing, dear Milan. Um, Milan, with all the distractions in the actual world, with technology and iPhones and tablets and Facebook, etc., which do you think is the key to attract people, girls and boys to practice, especially volleyball, all sports, but especially volleyball?
So, you know, yes, the what is the point? And that is not I now discovered the hole in the pot, but I can tell you that or hot water. I can tell you that yes, we have to. Volleyball is if you count how many players are making for themselves to live comfortable with the volleyball, there is no too much, and there is no too many, and there is not too many that they can say, okay, double. So then the kids, when they come to practice volleyball, okay, they are thinking about that. So they're not thinking that when they are 7 years old how to make money. Of course, that will be something strange, but how to bring them to volleyball, it is make a process of learning so interesting that they stay in volleyball. That's why I mentioned coach that I mentioned Bošković on the first, because yes, we had choice to go to play basketball, to play football. Yes, okay, basketball with my height maybe less, but okay, soccer was so he succeeded to keep us, and we were there, and he succeeded to put that inside of us, and that spam, and that spam grow up. So yes, the way of practicing how it can be, is it hit serve play, is it technique, must be combined, because there is no, every kid requests something what is special for the kid, and so you have to find that, and to find that knob, and make that knob, make that, push that knob, so that you keep the kids around.
Okay, thanks a lot. Milan, what's it may sound pretty obvious, but what do you think are the main differences between national team volleyball, club volleyball, and college volleyball?
um,
Because you have
okay,
experience in all of these three environments.
yes, so yes, okay, um, there are one common thing, it's volleyball.
Yeah.
And one other thing, it's motivation and passion and love. And volleyball soul. That is must be implemented in all of this. So if you have all of that, that will help you to be better professional player in the club, or in the club, better club player here in America when you have clubs for the kids that they're participating. So then in college, it will help you to be better teammate and better playing volleyball, and then better in whatever you decide to do tomorrow. So I can say that there are not a lot of differences. There is more because the differences is yes. Uh, for professional volleyball, you will be paid to play volleyball, But are you deciding to go overseas? These American kids, they are going overseas to play volleyball, and then to play for 10,000, and then losing here for But they want to go to feel that experience, and I can understand that. Okay, you go there, but you can return and make some money from some other things, from that you study. So yes, college volleyball is providing you the different future, club volleyball, different future. A national team volleyball, that is something that you are not playing for the national team to have the benefits. You are playing for national team because that is inside of you. But that the same inside, you have to play and for your club and for your team, even if you are professional, or even if you are amateur, or even if you're just college student. So you asked me for differences, and I mentioned the similarities.
Oh, it's
So
okay.
yeah, that is my response for that, Alejandro.
Perfect. And I think I know that NCAA has very strict rules for recruiting, but can you explain us just a little how does University of Hawaii do the recruiting process?
Uh, so yes, recruiting is the one biggest part and the greatest part of that. So know which one you are bringing. With the Hawaii specialty is because we are the most isolated place on the planet, so that means a lot of traveling. But before traveling, you have to make a lot of research. And then, so, so having in mind that we are not bringing the best kids from America. We are bringing some kids that they are competitive and that they have some prosperity to bring here. But then we are lucky that we know how to. And then we are making them one of the best in our program, one of the best. For my part of recruiting, yes, it is American recruiting, but contact with the recruits is the one of the crucial things, and that is Josh Walker, the part that he's doing contact with them, and he's with the age also more clear to more close to that guys, and so and clear with English communication, because if I start to talk to the American kids, okay, they will not afraid, but they will ask what is it. So yes, but after they learn. So and then I can say that the things and the area that Charlie Wade is really one of the greatest, and that he proved that he can find the players all around the world. But, yes, with my help and connection, of course, we can be with some players more closer earlier. But he also travels a lot, and he likes to travel, and he's doing great job with recruiting. And not we can mention a lot of comparative advantages that we have with the Hawaiian University of Hawaii, because everything is, everybody supports the athletics, and Hawaii for volleyball is special place. And we can really say that we have advantages in our recruits.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Milan. And yeah, just two more questions to finish, Milan. Um, what is your future, or which do you want to be your future with the USA national team? That last year was your first experience.
Thank you for asking. First of all, that was big honor, and that was something recognition of the things that I did all these years. So yes, and was great experience. It was ideal of the John Sparrow and Rob Nielsen and Firbing at that time, so that they already thought about that, supported by the president of federation, and I say, and working there with David Hunt, Mark Hulse, and to have in the next court, Coach Kirali and Mark Dunphy, and Luca also, Slabe from
Big names, all of them big
yes,
names.
yes. So I can tell you that it was great experience. I I brought something that John Perot is using. He used to say, "Oh, this is different approach, but volleyball is volleyball." In the end, the philosophy it is to play volleyball in the best way. So the things is how to be successful in the position that in the contact with the ball from different situations, and his experience shows that I I have a really big interfering in the and uh, and I can say that getting better in the reception, receive, and defense, and organizing that part, and in competition part with results. So I can say that I felt that I helped those guys that were with me in Colima and in Peru, because after that some of them they become assistant coaches there here in America. Uh, And even he wasn't with me, Seifert. He was saying to me, Coach, I use those things to practice Santa Barbara, to suggest to the wonderful coach McLaughlin, And I said to him, and and in the same point, so I was candidate for the for the assistant coach of the year in America, and he was candidate for the assistant coach of America, and he was my player this summer. And I can tell you that my things and my plans with America, it's first of all to help here where I am, and if John Sparrow or whoever it is in charge thinks that I can help them and I can help deep in for American volleyball, my volleyball nation is volleyball, and in this moment it is connected with America. But as in the picture that you present, you can see the three fingers raised, and my hat, what is Serbian hat, that is my Serbian soul and my Serbian feelings and my Serbian blood. And I can say that I couldn't mention there, but also I am part of that Greek Cypriot, and I am proud of that country also and of that volleyball also. But my current things is in my heart, and on my heart on that side is USA volleyball. And on the another picture down is its age. So what is University of Hawaii? And I and I am very thankful for the opportunity to work in Hawaii, to work in America, and to be here and to be coach.
Great, great, Milan. I hope I can visit you next year in Hawaii University.
With God help, you are invited. You know that, I told you. And thank you for the huge work that you are doing. And thank you, even if it is now in Mexico, if it is maybe 10, 10:30, 11.
10:30, 10:30.
10:30. So yes, that is, if it is 10:30 here, you will see me in the bed.
No
So
problem.
I appreciate it.
Last question, Milan. Which is your favorite Mexican food?
Burrito, suavecito. So I can say that burrito I like.
Burrito.
Okay. Yes, I like burrito, and I like tortilla, and I like all Mexican foods, and we like because I like hot, spicy, and I like those how you say jalapeno. Oh yeah, I like jalapeno.
Jalapeno is good, but you have to try habanero. Habanero is really great.
Oh, good. Okay, next time. Yes, but yes. Do I have any question for you?
You have a question for me?
Yeah. Do you have a wish to visit Serbia, Hawaii, or Cyprus? Or if you plan to visit Europe, just to have those destinations, and then we are going together to visit those wonderful places, and then you will meet some other food that on our UH website you can see how Serbia make Serbian pizza. So that is really special.
Oh yeah, well I really love to do that. Let's start with Hawaii next year. I will
That
be
is
very
nice.
glad to share some Rainbows game. Is it Rainbow or Rainbow? Or it's Rainbow Warriors, right?
Rainbow Warriors, Rainbows. Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I hope to share some Rainbow game next year. I will do.
And I like Alexandro. I have to share this with you since that you are Mexican, and I like that Mexican songs. So yes, I like those revolutions with Pancho Villa, and then I remember, that I remember that it's saying "Cucurru cucú, ay ay ay,
Paloma.
Paloma."
Oh yeah,
And that is for the end.
Oh, you sing very well.
We are saying in Serbia, you are singing very well, but it's little hard to listen to you. Okay. I appreciate your patience.
My friend Milan, I'm really grateful that you accepted the invite. It was a very funny, entertaining, and friendly talk. I'm very, very glad to be your friend. Thanks, Milan.
Me too. And otra vez, I will try to palabra Spanish.
Palabra en español. Okay.
Español. Okay.
Final words for the people who are watching and listen, Milan.
Continue to listen, Volley Talk. Continue to listen, Alejandro, and love volleyball, support volleyball, and stay safe. And hope that we will very fast come back to the courts and to the competitions. Love to everybody.
Yes, I hope that too, to return to volleyball. And well, this thing I'm doing is just because I love the game. We, the people of volleyball, we have to grow the game.
Yes.
Okay, my friend Milan, see you. Stay safe, please.
Thank you. You too, Alejandro. See you. Bye.
Mahalo.
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 Aloha.